The first time I stepped into masculine energy, I actually felt really afraid. Yes, we're going to be sharing a vulnerable one, and we're going to be talking about what it really meant for me to step into becoming a man. You can be as old as a man, right? When we're in our mid-20s, I guess that's when you're a man, right? At that age, it's like the way you communicate with other men really defines how you are in your masculinity. Not just with other men, but also with women and children, right? And one of the things that I had to learn from my journey is like stepping into my masculine energy felt unsafe. It felt scary. And recently I was speaking to one of my brothers, and I was telling him that he really needs to step into his masculinity and dominance in his life for him to really show up for a woman. Otherwise, he would continuously be that nice guy and get friend zoned consistently. I've been there and done that. So in today's episode, I kind of want to show you why that's important for you guys to truly step into your masculinity. And the moment you do that, why it will feel scary and unsafe and uncomfortable when you actually try. So before we begin, I want to remind you to take a deep breath in with me right now. And a deep breath out. I remember the first time I was stepping into my masculinity and really expressing myself. I felt immensely uncomfortable. And I remember thinking to myself, why does this feel so painful? That me being just assertive, me just saying what it is that I'm feeling, what I want as a man, especially. And it felt scary almost. It felt almost aggressive, almost like, oh my God, what's happening inside of me? Why do I feel so uncomfortable? I had to keep going back there again and again for me to truly understand this energy. And the more deeper and deeper I got into my journey, I understood one thing, that for me to step into my masculinity was dangerous as a kid. I felt scared to step into that masculinity because I was told by my father, I forgive you by the way, Dad, if you're watching this, that for me to step into that masculinity, I can't, because then you're challenging me, right? You're challenging me as a man. What, you sit back down, little boy? That's how I felt as a kid. Now, 20 years later, little did I know, when I'm speaking to other men, I'm doing the same thing. It was either that I was becoming that little boy again, or I was just pure aggression, meeting them as they were like hostile to me, like they're an enemy. So I was either meeting them with aggression, or I was meeting them like a little boy. And this is something that I've seen so many guys struggle with. They have such a bad relationship with their own masculinity. And what do I mean by that? Being a man. Saying what you want, going getting what you want, grabbing it. And saying it's mine. And being clear, being dominant, being assertive. The traits of a masculine man is dangerous for so many of us, because we never had a secure man, a father figure. Unfortunately, we forgive you, Dad. We never really had that support figure. So we didn't know what the reference point was. The reference point was the masculinity is dangerous. When you either meet it with aggression or you meet it like a little kid. And I know guys who are in their 30s or 40s that still behave like little boys around grown men. And you're probably thinking, wait, grown men? They are grown men, but they don't behave like it. They become a little boy, or they meet that energy with a hostile energy, with a very aggressive energy, and it's like they're unsafe to be around. And that's the crazy thing. That was me. I felt like I was fluctuating between the two, whether I was extremely hostile towards other men, or I was like becoming a little boy around other men. And I hated it. I hated that because it reminded me of me and my dad. Dad, if you're watching this, like I said, I forgive you. Oh, that's too funny. But so many of the brothers that I work with, they want to be more dominant. They want to be more assertive in their life. And this is the thing. This was a part of my job. I couldn't avoid the work even if I wanted to. For me to really understand what it took for me to step into business and go after money the way I wanted, I needed to understand the masculine within me. And that was a reflection of my father, literally. That's all I've ever seen my dad. He was very hungry, money-oriented person. And it's like the more I was trying to embody those traits that he had, a part of me hated it because I was like, I'll never be like him. And that was the problem. When I said I'd never be like him, that meant when it came to money, I couldn't be like him, right? So I had to be everything but successful financially. Because if I become financially successful, I will become like him. And I made a promise as a kid that I will never be like him. I know so many guys that have done this, and most of you guys had toxic masculine fathers, men who just couldn't communicate properly, you know? I don't even want to use the word toxic masculine, right? Just men who are hurt, right? Men who carry a lot of pain, and they haven't really had the tools or the awareness to understand it, so they could show up emotionally for their families. And that's just the reality we live in. If you look at the older generation, imagine what their parents were like. Imagine their parents' parents. It was just a world full of traumatized people, right? And essentially, what my message for today's episode is that the first time that you will step into your masculinity, you will feel slightly unsafe. You'll feel uncomfortable. You'll feel like you might come across a little aggressive when the first time you do it. But I'm telling you, ground that energy. How? My favorite way of doing that is in the gym when I'm working out. Because you can feel the pure aggression, but you can push it. You can channel that energy. And I remember being in the gym with one of my brothers one time, and I was like pushing him hard, almost like a father figure. And I remember feeling uncomfortable doing that, even challenging him. With the moment he wanted to stop, I was challenging him. I was like, nah, you ain't stopping. Nah, you ain't going nowhere, bro. You're going to finish this set right here, right now. And he was just like, this guy, man. And I remember feeling uncomfortable pushing him like that. But the truth is, it unlocked something in me. And I remember even with one of my other brothers, I was just simply expressing that I don't believe what you're saying right now. I feel like there's something else here. I felt uncomfortable. I felt there was a aggression that came up. And I was like, hold on, what's going on here? I'm simply being assertive. I'm simply expressing what I'm feeling. Why am I feeling scared doing that? That's when it hit me that there was more to this. The reason I felt unsafe is because every time I went there as a kid, I got a beating for it. So it felt unsafe for me to go there. So my message for you guys listening to this is you might feel unsafe stepping into your power, because if you did that around your parents, you might have got told to sit back down and shut the F up. Otherwise, beatings. So it became dangerous for you to do that. And now you're at the age of 30, hitting 30s, right? And you're thinking, how do I step into my power? Why can't I be that man who can express and, be assertive in my life? That's why. That was why it was for me. So breathe. You might have felt uncomfortable hearing this, but this is my short, quick message to you. If you want to step into your masculine energy, understand that you might feel uncomfortable doing that. You might feel uncomfortable the first time you step into your masculine energy, and that's okay. You almost have to put your hand over your heart and reassure yourself the way you needed when you was a child that it's okay. This is okay. We need to learn to ground this energy. We don't need to be afraid anymore. We can step into this full with our whole body. We can do this in every area of our life, and we don't need to feel afraid. But we also need to understand, why am I afraid right now to be this way? And things might come up for you. You might get a bit emotional thinking about them. You might even get angry. And that's okay. Just acknowledge it. Be there for yourself. There's a video that I specifically had that I'll tag up ahead, that become the person that you needed. For you to truly become the person that you needed, you'll feel, oh, snap, my camera battery just died. We're going to continue. But you must become the person that you needed the moment it happened. And I'm telling you, that's where your life will change. Become the person that you need. And if you haven't heard that episode, scroll down, you'll see it there, and simply go and check it out. And I'm telling you, that episode will help you become that person. And the first time you do it, it might feel uncomfortable, it might feel scary, but you keep practicing it, and I promise you will eventually get there. And you'll find yourself in moments and conversations where you feel dominant, you feel comfortable, you feel safe to express your masculine energy, and you don't feel like there's a threat. Other than that, guys, I hope this inspired you. If it did, please take a screenshot, share it on my Instagram account. I was recording this, but my camera died, so we're just going to keep flowing and going. You know how I do. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Peace and love, and salam alaikum.